in Orleans, Massachusetts. It's Orleans Firebirds baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Noah Johnson alongside Tyler Rocky as we get ready for the 16th game of the 2017 Cape League season. And Tyler, Orleans, as we get ready to go here tonight, riding a 5-game win streak.
And it's been everything going right for Orleans. The pitching has been phenomenal. We've seen absolute stellar hitting. We're seeing the long ball really come into play as well. Ethan Paul and Steve Passatempo both showing off the power the other day. And honestly, this Orleans team, from when it started in the first 4 games to now, has been completely night and day. Everything's clicking right now for Orleans. Now you just got to keep that momentum rolling.
Firebirds getting ready to take on the Harwich Mariners for the 2nd time this season. Tonight's lineup for Harwich starts with Andrew Moritz leading off in right field. He is from UNC Greensboro. Travis Manoy bats second. He's the 3rd baseman from Orange County Community College. Kobe Vance out of Alabama is the DH. He's in the 3 spot, followed by Kyler Murray, the left fielder from Oklahoma. Cam Simmons out of Virginia hits 5th. He's in center field, followed by Max Burt of Northeastern. He bats 6th and plays shortstop. Brad Debo out of North Carolina State bats 7th. He's behind the plate with Jordan Burden out of San Diego State batting 8th and playing first base. And Justin Novak at second base bats 9th. He plays his college ball at Virginia. The defense for the Firebirds looks like this. It'll be Lars Newbar at first, Ethan Paul at second, Devin Mann making his Orleans debut at third, and Jeff Hodeby at short. Left to right is Stephen Scott coming off a big day in Catuit on Wednesday afternoon. Jimmy Herron in center and Nico Decolati in right, with Cesar Salazar doing the catching for Orleans starter Joey Murray out of Kent State, who makes his 3rd start of the summer. He's 1-1 with an ERA of 2 in 9 innings pitched. Well, Tyler, as we get ready to go, Orleans had quite the comeback against Harwich in their first meeting last Saturday.
Yeah, and we've seen Orleans. They've kind of had the cardiac kids mantra for them all season long. We've seen a number of times where the Firebirds have come back late in games, as late as the 8th inning, and take a late lead, and the bullpen has been phenomenal and has been able to hold down that advantage.
Andrew Moritz out of UNC Greensboro will lead off from the left-hand side. The first pitch from Murray is over the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count on Moritz, who comes in hitting .256, 0 home runs, 1 RBI, as the righty Murray deals again, and that's taken for a ball that misses inside. The count is 1-1. Harwich has had some trouble with the bats this season, only hitting .213 as a team. Here's the 1-1, swung on and lined into center field, and that's going to drop down in front of Herron. So only batting .213 on the season, but the Mariners get their leadoff hitter on as Moritz flips a single into center field, and that will bring up Travis Manoy out of Orange County Community College. Manoy was 0 for 3 in Harwich's 12-1 defeat at the hands of YD on Wednesday. He's batting .190 on the season, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs. As from the set for the first time tonight is Murray. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch, catches the outside corner for a strike. Orleans in the Red Shirt Friday red jerseys with Cape Cod Baseball League across the chest, white pants and camo caps. Harwich in the all-road grays with gray and red hats, as there's a throw over to first as Moritz slips a little bit going back, but he holds on to the base.
And Newbar, if he had applied that tag and held it for the entire time, he actually might have gotten Moritz when he fell off the bag a little bit there.
Count is 0-1 on Manoy. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a fastball up and away, and it's quickly 0-2. Orleans pursuing their 6th consecutive victory, their 10th in their last 12 after starting the season 0-4. They have really turned it around. Of course, the offense coming alive on Wednesday in a 13-2 win over Catuit. Here's the 0-2, and that misses up high. The count is 1-2 on Manoy. First time Firebirds have seen Manoy this season. He did not play in the first matchup between these two teams at White House Field. Firebirds atop the East Division with a mark of 9-6-0, good for 18 points. Harwich in the cellar. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, just tapped foul back to the backstop. Count stays at 1-2. Manoy, a left-handed hitter, wearing the number 5. One thing you gotta love about these old school Harwich jerseys is, we saw it with the home ones as well, they always wear those stirrups. It's a very crisp look. Another check on Moritz, and that one was a lot closer as Newtbar applied the tag, but diving back safely was the Harwich right fielder.
You and I were talking before the game. Harwich may have the number 1 and number 2 best jerseys in the league.
They're both beautiful. Love them both. Here's the 1-2 again, and that strike 3 over the outside corner. Got him with a fastball. Unable to pull the trigger was Manoy, and he becomes out number 1 and strikeout number 1 for Joey Murray. And that will bring up Kobe Vance. Well, for a team that is struggling offensively, Vance has been the bright spot for Harwich, batting a team-high .340 on the season. No home runs yet, but he does lead the team in RBIs with 8. And now here's another check on Moritz, who's back with the dive. Vance was 0 for 4 yesterday. Not much went right for Harwich in that 12-1 defeat to YD. YD came back yesterday and dropped both games of doubleheader. There goes the runner. The throw down to second base is in time, and they got him. Fastball over the outside corner. Good pitch for Salazar to throw on, and he guns down the runner Moritz. And there are 2 down, and the count is 1-0 on Vance.
Can't say enough about Cesar Salazar behind the plate. He has been gunning out runners. This entire Orleans catching unit has been very good this season.
The 1-0 is fouled off by Vance. Count evens up at 1-1. Vance also leading the team in stolen bases with 5 on the season. But just looking at Harwich's offensive stats, they look like Orleans' offensive stats early in the season. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and grounded to second base. Ethan Paul's got it on a couple hops and throws to first to end the inning. So Moritz a leadoff single, but he's gunned down at second as Murray faces the minimum. We played a half inning. Mariners nothing. Firebirds coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park here in Orleans, Massachusetts. Firebirds and Mariners tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Your batting order for the Orleans Firebirds looks like this. Jimmy Herron leads off and plays center field. He's from Duke. Batting second and playing second out of Vanderbilt is Ethan Paul. Brandon Riley out of North Carolina is the designated hitter. He hits third. In the cleanup spot is Cesar Salazar, the catcher from Arizona. In the 5 spot is Nico Decolati, the right fielder from Loyola Marymount. Stephen Scott out of Vanderbilt plays left field and bats 6th. Lars Newtbar out of USC is at first. He bats 7th, followed by Devin Mann making his Firebirds debut. He's the 3rd baseman out of Louisville. And in the 9 hole is Jeff Hotby, the shortstop from San Diego. The Mariners in the field look like this. It'll be Jordan Verdon at first, Justin Novak at second, Travis Manoy at third, and Max Burt at short. Left to right, it's Kyler Murray, Cam Simmons, and Andrew Moritz, with Brad Debo doing the catching for Brian Christian out of Northeastern, who makes his 2nd start of the summer, his 4th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 3.24 ERA in 8 1/3 innings pitched for the Mariners as he goes up against a red-hot Firebirds lineup.
Now the question is, can Orleans continue to build off of these offensive outbursts they've had in the last couple of games? You saw the big one against Catuit the other day, 13 runs on 15 hits. You also left, I believe it was 12 guys on base as well, so that's going to have to change a little bit, but if Orleans can get the timely hitting, this isn't a very strong Harwich pitching staff, so they can take advantage of that with their heating up bats.
Here's Jimmy Herron, the center fielder from Duke. Leads the Firebirds in batting average with a mark of 400 and in RBIs with 8. First pitch is inside, ball 1. And off we go in the bottom of the first. Fantastic season so far for Herron. Also leads the team with 6 doubles. Here's the 1-0, and that's down and away. So quickly 2-0 on Jimmy Herron. He was 2 for 5 in Catuit yesterday. One of many Firebirds who had a good day at the plate. Or excuse me, on Wednesday that is. So Orleans hung 13 runs on the Kettleers. Here's the pitch, and that's down and away again. 3-0. So working pretty quickly is Christian, but he's fired 3 straight balls to Herron, who stands back in. Here's the 3-0, and he pumps in a strike. The count is 3-1. The Orleans bats have come alive, up to 256 as a team. 3-1 pitch is taken for a strike over the outside corner as Herron took a step toward first base, but gets the bad news from the home plate umpire, and the count runs full. Ready again, here's the payoff pitch, and that's down and in, ball 4. So Christian comes back to make it 3-2 after falling behind 3-0, but in the end still walks Jimmy Herron, who is aboard to lead off the bottom of the first inning. So both teams getting their leadoff man on. That brings up Ethan Paul, the second baseman from Vanderbilt. Paul at 286, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, was 2 for 6 yesterday, or Wednesday that is. Hit his first home run of the season in Catuit. First pitch from Christian. That's taken at the letters for a strike.
Paul, one of those guys who's gotten going lately. If you go top to bottom in this Orleans lineup, a lot of bats are starting to turn the corner. Even some guys on the bench today as well. So big things looking forward for the Orleans offense.
Here's the 0-1. There goes Herron. Ball in the dirt, and Herron will reach second base standing up. Debo went down to a knee to block it, and Orleans have a runner in scoring position.
And that's one of those parts of the Orleans offense that I would really like to see them be more aggressive with, and that's stealing bags. Orleans currently in second to last in the entire CCBL, but there's guys with speed on this team, guys who can definitely go first to second on their own, and Herron's definitely one of those guys. He's got the speed. He plays well in center field.
Only 9 stolen bases on the season before that theft by Herron. Here's the pitch from Christian. Swing and a miss at a fastball over the outside corner. And it's 0-2 on Ethan Paul. 1-2 rather. Well, Harwich do give up runs. Team ERA at 4.29 compared to only a 2.90 for Orleans. We've talked about it in the past. Their pitching has been fantastic. Here's the 1-2 on Ethan Paul. Swung on and fouled off to the left. That's over Route 28 and into the trees beyond. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, it's hard to imagine that Ethan Paul started summer 0 for 10. His coming out party was in Bourne. 1 game that the Firebirds have played away against the Braves. Since then, he's been hot. 286 on the season. The 1-2 pitch from Christian. Breaking ball misses high. 2-2 the count. Well, you mentioned some of these bats heating up, some of them not being in the lineup today. We saw Steve Passatempo finally break through with a 3 for 5 day against Catuit. We've been waiting for that. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Paul takes it outside. Debo liked the spot, but it missed just away, and the count is full.
And that's a pitch that I think we've seen called a strike today. Very generous on the outside corner with a lot of these umpires throughout the Cape League.
Count is full. Christian takes a look at Herron. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left again. So it will be at least an 8-pitch at bat for Ethan Paul. Good sized crowd here in Orleans on overcast evening, the last day of June. Crowds will really start coming in on 4th of July weekend. Here's the 3-2 once again to Ethan Paul. Swung on and ripped foul, and that is off the screen down the right field line. So a good at bat here by Ethan Paul. We'll see a 9th pitch.
This is where Paul's been very good this season, with 2 strikes, just fouling off pitches, and then either taking a ball the other way or he can draw a walk as well.
Bases open at first. Heron on second. Here's the payoff pitch from Christian. Swung on and popped into shallow right center. Moving out is the second baseman Novak, and he will make the play. A few feet onto the outfield grass. No advance for Heron. So a long at bat ends for Paul as Christian records the first out of his outing, and that will bring up Brandon Riley.
That pitch just kind of jammed Paul on the inside. I think he wanted to try to foul that off, but just got a little bit under it.
Well, we've seen Riley in right field quite a bit. He's the DH tonight with Nico Decolati occupying right for the Firebirds. First pitch to Riley from Christian. Taken down and away. Riley at .311. He's second on the team in average. Still hasn't hit a home run yet. Does have 7 RBIs. That's from the left-hand side. Runner in scoring position for Orleans. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Christian delivers. That misses the outside corner. It's 2-0.
Christian's fallen behind a lot of these Orleans hitters. Not throwing a lot of strikes, so if they can knock him out of the game, get to that bullpen of Harwich. That's where Orleans really teed off last game.
Had a 5-run 8th inning against the Mariners. Here's the pitch, and that's outside, and it's 3-0. So the first 3 Orleans hitters have all faced 3-ball counts. Heron and Riley were both in the box when it was 3-0. Cesar Salazar on deck. Christian at the belt. Here's the pitch. And that's over the inside corner for a strike. 3-1. Wind blowing again here in Orleans. We've, I think, observed that a lot of these Cape League parks get quite a bit of wind. Doesn't matter where you go on the Cape, you're always pretty close to the water. Here's the 3-1, swung on and fouled back out of play. So once again, Brian Christian rebounds and works the count full. Orleans will face Harwich 4 more times after this. On opposite ends of the division, though really nobody in the entire Cape League who's running away with their respective divisions so far. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on and lashed foul off to the left. So another long at bat. Ethan Paul was in the box for 9, Heron in the box for 6. Now Riley in for at least 7. So if pitch count is a factor for Brian Christian, this is very productive first few batters for the Firebirds. So we'll do it again. Christian ready. Here's the 3-2 to Brandon Riley. And that's outside. Second walk of the inning for Brian Christian, and there's 2 on and 1 out for Cesar Salazar. He comes in at .270 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Doing the catching out of Arizona. Expect he'll get more reps at the plate as the season goes on. It's Cooper Johnson now playing for the YD Red Sox, and Austin Hale not on the lineup card today. Now a check at second base, and almost throwing that into center field is Christian, as Heron dives back and came in and out of the glove of the shortstop Burt, but stayed just a few feet from the bag. We saw Christian looking over at second quite a bit during the last two batters, but didn't throw. Made his move there. Here's the pitch to Salazar. Swung on and fouled off. A lot of foul balls in the early going.
Getting to Heron on second base. We have seen him steal third before, however, it didn't count as the game was rained out and all the stats were erased, but this would be a time to do it right here.
0-1 the count. Salazar hitting from the left-hand side. Long look in for Christian. Now the pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to third base, and in safely is Jimmy Heron. And as the throw went to third, Riley took second.
That was the perfect pitch to steal on a breaking ball that drew the catcher Debo towards the left-handed batter's box, so he's thrown across his body as opposed to getting a head start down to third. Great execution there by Orleans. Now let's see if Salazar can make him pay for it.
Double steal for the Firebirds, and just as we were talking about Orleans being second to last in stolen bases, they have 3 in the first inning. Count is 1-1. Christian delivers, swung on and lashed foul again off to the left. As that property beyond Route 28 down the left field line is getting peppered with balls in the early going. It's 0-2 on Salazar as Christian tries to work out of trouble here in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless at the moment. Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball grounded through the hole into right field. That's a base hit. Heron scores. Around third comes Riley. The throw to the plate is not in time as Riley slides in. It's a 2-run single for Cesar Salazar. The Firebirds jump ahead 2-0.
And I'm not sure what the Harwich scouting report was there. The second baseman Novak was shaded well up the middle. That ball wasn't hit that hard, and it was taken down by the grass over on that right side. Surprised that it actually got through, but if you're Novak, you against a lefty like Salazar, he's not going to hit the ball the other way very much. A lot of his power comes on the pull side, and he was shaded up more towards up the middle at double play depth where he is at right now. Interesting move there by the Harwich defense in general.
Ball was not hit hard, but that was to the Firebirds' benefit as there's a check on Salazar, who's back standing up. The speed of that ground ball, or lack thereof, allowed Riley to come around and score pretty easily. He did slide in, but was well ahead of the throw. Another check on Salazar, who shuffles back to the bag. 1 out, bottom of the first, 2-0 Orleans, looking for their 6th straight win. Ready is Christian. Here's the pitch to Decolati. He swings and rips one into right field. That sends Moritz back, still going back. That ball's off the fence. Heading into second base is Decolati. He will get there with the slide up to third. Goes Salazar. It's a double for Nico Decolati, and they're on second and third again with 1 out.
And it's funny because those are the first 2 hits, so that just shows the patience of this Orleans lineup. You draw a couple walks, you get into the pitcher Christian's head, and then you turn that with the stolen bases. You stay on his mind. You got him on second and third. You get a timely hit from Cesar Salazar, and then a big one right there from Decolati, who's really starting to see the ball well also. And that just changes the entire dynamic. This is not a team that usually pounces in the first inning, but we're seeing it right now.
Firebirds' win streak started with a win at Harwich. So they look to continue it with another win against the Mariners, as Harwich will take a mound visit here as Brian Christian tries to calm down. Well, the batter will be Steven Scott, the left fielder from Vanderbilt. Now, he's only batting .200 with no home runs, 1 RBI, but he had quite the day against Catuit on Wednesday. 3 for 5, a double, a walk, 3 runs, and an RBI, which was his first of the season, as you know, we've been waiting to see Scott really break out. We know what he's capable of. Of course, his stats not as high as they could have been at Vanderbilt this season after he suffered an injury very early on. But he really showed what he could do on Wednesday. He's got 2 runners out there in scoring position. Firebirds already ahead 2-0. 2-run single by Cesar Salazar. He's on third. Decolati doubled. He's on second. And stepping off is Christian. So the right-hander from Northeastern really laboring here. First pitch to Scott, taken outside. He's thrown a lot of pitches, and Orleans have hit him hard when he has thrown strikes. Double, a single, a couple walks in the inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Scott rips one into right field. Moritz over. He cannot make the play. It gets past him all the way to the fence. 2 runs are going to score. Scott up to second, and it's 4-0 Orleans. Diving effort at right field by Moritz, but he couldn't come up with it. That should be a 2-run double for Steven Scott, his second double in as many games. And he triples his RBI total, 1-3. And it will go as a double, according to the official scorer. So back-to-back doubles to right field for the Firebirds, and they put up a 4 spot here in the first inning.
Scott, if you keep getting that bat going, he's a Vandy guy. Kelly loves his Vandy guys. He's going to be dangerous moving forward.
So here's Lars Newtbar. Digs in from the left-hand side as he fouls the first one off to the left. Newtbar, the first baseman tonight, 205 on the season, no home runs, 1 RBI. What he has brought to this team more than anything else is walks. This guy has a great eye at the plate and walks a ton. Count is 0-1. Christian takes a look at second, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on and popped into center. Simmons over toward left center. He'll make the play as the wind took that a little bit. And there's 2 outs in the inning.
I don't think we've seen Newtbar swing that early in an at-bat this season. He usually will get at least 2 strikes on him before he makes contact with the ball into fair play. So if he's going to be aggressive, he had a good game the last time he started. So if Newtbar gets a little more aggressive at the plate, that could change how this Orleans offense operates.
Here's Devin Mann making his Firebirds debut, third baseman out of Louisville. First pitch from Christian is taken down and away, blocked by the catcher Debo. Ball 1. With the Cardinals, Mann was 270, 8 home runs, 43 RBIs. Louisville, of course, going to the College World Series in Omaha. So a delayed return to the Cape as there's a strike over the outside corner. Delayed arrival on the Cape, rather. Man batting from the right-hand side. He's got a runner on second with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Takes a breaking ball. The count is 1-2. Well, we'll see Mann's college teammate Riley Thompson, who will be activated once Kevin Smith reaches his innings limit. Saw Smith pitch against Catuit on Wednesday. He's 6 innings away from hitting that cap. Here's the pitch, swung on and ripped into left field. That ball will drop. Around third comes Scott. Here's the throw to the plate, and it is in time, but the tag is not applied, as sliding around the tag is Steven Scott. Up to second goes Devin Mann, and in his first Cape League at bat, he's got an RBI single, and the Firebirds lead 5-0.
That was a great slide there by Scott as he was coming to the plate. He saw the catcher Debo shifting to the outside towards the third base line, so what does Scott do? He moves to the inside, gets the hand out, and with a nice slide is able to get around the Debo tag.
Well, Mann had a bit of a slump in the postseason for Louisville. We saw him shuffled down in their batting order, but he's off to a good start here. Jeff Hotby digs in, the 9th man to hit for the Firebirds, and now Hotby wants time. Hotby had 212, no home runs, 7 RBIs, was 1 for 3 against Katuitt. As Brian Christian has really struggled. 5 runs are in for Orleans. Another one out there. Here's the pitch. That's taken over the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. Orleans flexing their offensive muscle here in the bottom of the first inning. Christian to the set. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. 0-2 on Hotby. Orleans looks to bat around here in the opening frame. Jimmy Herron, who walked to lead off the inning, is on deck. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left. That's out of play. Still 0-2 on Hotby. So quite the cushion for Joey Murray, who will have 5 runs to play with. Here's the 0-2, and that misses the outside corner.
And you wonder how that might change the pitching configuration. Murray, who's been off and on in his 2 starts this season with Orleans, if he can get you 5, and then you go 3 in the bullpen, and then maybe 1 more from another reliever.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and fouled off again.
You ideally want to use less than 3 or less guys today.
Well, Murray has been solid so far. He can give you innings. He had quite the season at Kent State.
And if he gets stretched to 6, then ideally you'd like a guy to come in and give you 3.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and tapped to the pitcher. Christian's got it. He underhand flips to first. And the inning is over, but quite the opening frame for the Firebirds. They put up 5 runs. We're through 1, 5-0 Orleans on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, we move to the top of the second inning. 5-0 Firebirds as the offense exploded in the bottom half of the first. RBI single by Cesar Salazar. That scored 2, and then a 2-run double by Scott, and an RBI single by Devin Mann as the first pitch is in there for a strike to the cleanup hitter Kyler Murray. As the infield shifts to the left side. 0-1 misses high, it's 1-1. Second baseman Paul on the shortstop side of the second base bag. Shortstop Hotby pulled over toward third as the 1-1 is swung on and missed. A weak wave by Murray. It's 1-2. Outfielders shifted slightly, especially in left as Scott is pulled over toward the line. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. The bat goes flying over the Harwich dugout down the third baseline and off the protective screen. It's a strikeout, second of the game for the pitcher Murray, as the batter Murray strikes out.
Kyler Murray, I think that's the football player in him right there. Not used to getting a tight grip, little fumble.
Well, that's right, he is the backup quarterback at Oklahoma, of course, for Baker Mayfield. Here's the pitch from Joey Murray, and it misses for a ball to Cam Simmons, center fielder out of Virginia. 194, 0 home runs, 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch, and that misses high. 2-0 the count. Wind really gusting here. So all of our paperwork here on the broadcasting table is whipping around. I, of course, do not have anything taped down.
I've offered you tape before.
I know.
You always turn it down.
I should take it. Tyler has taped everything down, and he's all set. The count is 1-1 on Cam Simmons. Infield back to their regular positions. Murray ready. Here's the pitch. And that misses just low. So it dips below the knees. Max Burt on deck. Shortstop is a teammate at Northeastern of the Harwich starter Christian, as the pitch clips the shoulder of Cam Simmons, and he will take his base. Second base runner for the Mariners. And here's Burt, 179, 0 home runs, 1 RBI. One of 4 Harwich hitters in this lineup, coming in with a sub-200 batting average. Murray delivers, swung on, grounded to third, could be 2. Mann's got it, onto second for 1, and there will be no turn as the ball is dropped at second by Ethan Paul, but the third base umpire says that it was on the transfer. So they do get the lead runner, Cam Simmons. It was a nice play by the third baseman, Devin Mann, who had to take a half step back and play it on a short hop, but threw on to second to get the out. And that will bring up Brad Debo, the catcher out of North Carolina State. Another guy under the Mendoza line, batting 186. Here's the pitch from Murray, swung on, grounded to second base. Paul's got it, tosses to short, and that ends the inning. So through 1.5, another base runner for Harwich. Nothing comes of it. 5-0 Firebirds on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, we move to the bottom of the second inning, 5-0 Firebirds, as Joey Murray has enjoyed plenty of run support in the early going. Firebirds will send the top third of their order to the plate for the second time. Jimmy Herron, Ethan Paul, Brandon Riley. Herron walked, stole a couple bases, and scored a run in the first inning. Still batting .400 with 1 home run, 8 RBIs. as he has hit safely in all but one game this season. Here's the pitch from Christian, who returns after a very rough first inning, and he misses outside with the ball. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled off. 2 walks, 4 hits, 5 runs for Orleans in that opening frame as they look to add on here. Christian delivers, swung on and popped into right. Moving over is Moritz. He's got it sized up for the first out of the inning. So a much easier start to the second for Brian Christian as Jimmy Herron flies out to right. And here's Ethan Paul, one of 3 Firebirds who did not get on base in the opening inning. He popped out to second, came in hitting at .286, had a couple hits against Catuan on Wednesday, including his first home run. Here's the pitch, and that is taken for a ball as Ethan Paul still had his hand on the barrel of the bat when that pitch came in. Here's the 1-0, and that's down and in. It's quickly 2-0. So Christian, when nobody is on base, is a quick worker. We saw that against Herron to lead off the game. Now a pitch to Paul, swung on and lined over the head of the second baseman Novak into right center. And that's a base hit for Ethan Paul. He's 1 for 2. Now Brandon Riley will get a chance with a runner on.
Good job by Paul there to get the barrel out in front on a pitch that was right down the middle. Put that right where he needed to, right over the second baseman's head and into right field.
So Riley digs in, walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the first. Check on Paul, who dives back safely. Not a terribly big lead over at first base. Salazar, the catcher, on deck as we play in the bottom of the second. Orleans with a 5-0 lead. Here's the pitch, and that just missed off the outside corner. 1-0 the count. Already a lengthy game after that bottom of the first. Had one of our longest games in Catuit, as there's a check again over at Paul, who dives back safely. That game lasting 3 hours and 11 minutes. We were surprised that game wasn't called after 8 innings, with Orleans ahead 13-0. Runner goes, swung on and popped foul down the left field line. That will get out of play.
And
hit and run.
The interesting thing about some of these game limits, I remember early in the season with this Orleans team, they were, despite the fact that at Eldred, just the latest start time tied with Chatham at 7 o'clock, they were finishing before some of these 6 o'clock, 6:30 games. And we're playing the shortest games in the league, but now that the bats have woken up, that's completely changed. We're looking at more 3-hour-long games.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off the catcher, Debo, as he got the webbing of his glove on that, but it trickles behind him, strike 2. And we were getting 2.5 hour, sub 2.5 hour games to start the season. I had a bunch of those 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 ball games. Times have changed. Here's the 1-2 on Brandon Riley as Christian takes a long look and now delivers. And that is popped foul back to the screen. Reaching out and just slapping that one into the netting was Brandon Riley. So, given the cooler temperatures, a pretty good crowd here. Now another check at first, and it's blocked nicely by the first baseman, Verdon. As Tyler has already gone to the sweatshirt. It's too cold for him.
Yeah, I cracked first today. Actually, I think I always crack first.
You have been putting that sweatshirt on pretty early. Here's the pitch. And it's taken high. Now a check at first base by the catcher, Debo, but back safely is Ethan Paul with the dive. Count is 2-2. I think a kid from Chicago who goes to Syracuse, used to it being negative 50 or whatever cold it gets up there. Here's the pitch. Bluffing at first was Paul, and taking the ball was Brandon Riley. The count's full.
I usually can't win with the weather here.
Yeah.
In the past, I come in shorts, and then it gets really cold, or I'll come in long pants and a sweater, and then it'll be 80 degrees, one of the hotter days, but it can be 70 degrees and be cold here in Cape Cod. That's the one thing I've learned.
Runner goes again, swung on and fouled off by Riley. Count stays 3 and 2. You know what you need? You know those pants that have the zippers at the knees? You know those?
Should I bring those back?
Yes. Oh man, I remember those.
That was like a 4th grade classic.
Yeah, they were essential. You'd go out for recess. If it was warm, you'd unzip. If it was still cold, you had pants. It was great. Here's the payoff pitch again. And misses outside for a ball. It was a delayed steal by Ethan Paul, but it doesn't matter as he goes to second on the walk. 3rd walk for Bryant Christian, and here comes Cesar Salazar as he bats for the 2nd time in this game with a couple runners on. Riley's walked a couple times. Riley's hit streak was broken at 8 games against Katuitt as he walked twice in his last couple at bats. He's got another couple walks here. Now Salazar drove in his 6th and 7th RBIs of the season back in the 1st inning. Christian at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped into right. Moritz coming on. He's got it sized up and he puts it away for the 2nd out of the 2nd inning.
I was kind of surprised Paul didn't at least retreat to the second base bag to at least fake a tag, maybe draw a throw that could get away. He was about 10 feet off that bag until it was caught, and then finally went back to the second base bag.
Here's Nico Decolati, right fielder out of Loyola Marymount. He doubled off the base of the fence in right field, then later scored a run on Stephen Scott's double. Here's the pitch, and it misses downstairs for ball 1.
We've seen Nico hit a couple of balls off the wall. I believe that's 3 now here at Eldridge Park, if my memory serves me correct. It's only a matter of time before he finally gets it over.
Count is 1-0. Paul on second, Riley on first. Here's the pitch from Christian. Swung on and fouled straight back to the screen. County puts up at 1-1. Wind now blowing in from right center. It's been gusting in a few different directions. We have seen the ball carry pretty well, as Decolati's double would illustrate. Here's the 1-1. There's a breaking ball that misses just low. 2-1 the count. Decolati has only been here for 1 Orleans loss. That was his debut against Wareham. Since then, the Firebirds have rattled off 5 straight wins. In the process, are now tied for the best record in the Cape League with the Bourne Braves. Here's the pitch. Swung on and line foul off to the right.
You're a soccer guy too, right, Noah?
I'm a big soccer guy.
Well, if you go by runs as your aggregate, that would actually put Orleans on top.
That would. Well, there you go. Or head-to-head, right?
Series is 1-1, I believe.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That's why you're here. Fact checked me. That's right. They did. Bourne did win the first meeting. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled off down the right field line. Moritz will give it a look, but that one reaches the crowd as a couple fans ventured into the field of play to make a play on the ball. We'll see if our PA announcer gives them a scolding.
Some Steve Bartmans in training.
I remember coming here as a kid. Those crowds down that right field line, there'd be fair balls down into that corner. People would run onto the field to try to grab it. Here's the 2-2 again, and it misses inside. The count runs full.
Were you ever one of those guys?
I was never one of those kids. I preferred sitting be adjacent to the dugout.
Is that the best seat here at Eldridge?
It is.
It is.
Between the press box and the Orleans dugout to the first base line, a little ways up the hill. Here's the 3-2, and it misses outside as the runners were moving. They move up 90 feet. Decolati puts the fourth Orleans walk of the game in his back pocket as he goes to first. And they're loaded for Stephen Scott, who's red hot. Had a 2-run double back in the first inning, had 3 hits against Katuitt in the Wednesday victory for Orleans. So Scott batting from the left-hand side, looking to really put this game out of reach in the first couple innings. Here's the pitch from Christian, and it's taken right down the middle for a strike.
And lately, we've seen with Orleans, 2-out hitting has been very timely. And Scott with an opportunity right here with 2 away. Don't want to leave 3 men on.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Bottom of the second, Orleans already ahead 5-0. Here's the pitch. Scott takes it in the dirt, it gets away. Here comes a run, and Ethan Paul scores. 6-0 Orleans on a wild pitch by Brian Christian. And the Firebirds tack on a run.
This has just been a nightmare start for Brian Christian. He'd been so good. You brought up his stat line in the early going. And then he comes in here, and he's already allowed 6 runs through 2. And this Orleans offense doesn't show any signs of slowing either.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Stephen Scott. Taken up the outside corner for a strike. Maybe a generous call given the situation. 1-2 on Scott. Second and third, 2 down. Decolati on second, Riley on third. Christian at the belt. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Count stays at 1-2. Scott, 4 out of his last 6. Going back to Wednesday. And on base 5 times. Bar on deck. Orleans looking to add a couple more here in the second inning. Christian delivers, and it's in the dirt. It gets away again. Here comes Riley. He's going to score easily. Up to third, Decolati. He takes a wide turn but holds there. So a couple wild pitches allows Orleans to tack on a couple more runs here in the second inning, and it's 7-0 Firebirds.
Some of these walks have really come back to bite Christian. 3 of the 4 guys who he's allowed onto the base paths that way have come in to score, and then the 4th is standing on third base right now.
Count is even at 2-2 on Stephen Scott. He's worked a nice at bat. Hasn't driven in a run, but 2 runs have scored while he's been at the plate. Christian delivers. Swing and foul tipped in and out of the mitt of Debo. And Scott stays alive.
Nice little gift there as that ball just in and out of the mitt like you mentioned, Noah. Scott has a chance to make them pay right here.
Scott got just enough of it. Here's the 2-2 again. Swung on and flown down the left field line. That will get out of play. So we've lost that one in the overcast twilight sky. So another good at bat by a Firebirds batter here. As Stephen Scott has seen 7 pitches. He'll see an 8th right now. The 2-2 once again from Brian Christian. The runner on third. Swung on and lined into right field, a base hit. It's a 3rd RBI for Stephen Scott on the night. In to score is Nico Decolati, and it's 8-0 Firebirds here in the second inning.
That's exactly what the Firebirds need to do. They just got to keep on pounding away. I mean, this offense has just been a completely different animal ever since we've seen a couple new guys step in, some bats start to heat up, most notably Scott's right now. 5 of his last 7.
Here's Lars Nootbaar digging in from the left-hand side. First pitch from Christian, swung on and lined foul just wide of third. And it's 0-1. Nootbaar 0 for 1, flew out to center. As he looks to join in here. Already 7 of the 9 Firebirds in today's lineup have reached base, only in the second inning. Christian delivers, that's over the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on Nootbaar. Scott on first. He's 2 for 2. 3 runs in the frame. 8 overall. Christian at the belt. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and chopped to short. Over to get it is Burt. The throw to first is in time. And another rough inning for Brian Christian finally comes to an end. We've played 2. Firebirds on top 8-0 here at Eldridge Park on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. We move to the top of the third here at Eldridge Park. 8-0 Firebirds. Jordan Verdon, Justin Novak, and Andrew Moritz getting ready to dig in for the Mariners against Joey Murray, who has gotten all the run support he could have wished for. It's now Orleans, with the game well in hand, racing the weather. We have just seen quite the rainstorm coming in from the west. So we will try to play 4.5 here. Here's the pitch, and it is downstairs for a ball.
Be quite a shame to erase 8 runs through 2 innings from the Firebirds.
Firebirds in control right now. Murray delivers. That's downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Verdon, the first baseman out of San Diego State, batting .200, 1 home run. He's driven in 5. Murray ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped in the air, and that's over our heads, over the screen and out of play.
You wonder if Murray got that sign too that the rain might be coming in. Working a little quicker than usual.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's over the outside corner for a strike. 2-2. Well, not only would those 8 runs be erased, but our first pitches would be erased. As Tyler and I, along with the rest of the media team, threw out the first pitches before tonight's game as the 2-2 drops low.
So do we get to do it again?
Maybe we'll get 2 game balls if that's the case.
Because I know Natalie bounced hers.
Oh my gosh. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and popped foul. And now that's actually going to hook back into play. And a diving attempt is made by the left fielder Scott, but it drops in.
You know what? I would like to defend myself on air. I've never played baseball a day in my life, and it didn't even bounce. I'm going to go ahead and put the blame on Jax Groshans, who just didn't have a very good catch on my ball.
Well, who knows? It might be nullified, so you could be off the hook.
I could be, but I'm pretty content with that. I was actually expecting a lot worse, to be honest, so I'll take what I got.
Justin Novak digs in as our on-field reporter Natalie Cardenas joins us. That pitch misses high. It's 1-0. Natalie, you were doing fine before the game because we practiced.
We did practice. You know what? It's so nerve-wracking up there. I don't know how these players do it, especially with the crowd like this. I couldn't.
The 1-0 is taken for a strike.
This is probably the biggest crowd we've had, too. Right up there with the other day against Chatham.
So can you walk us through what happened? What happened with Jax? Walk us through what happened. Here's the 1-1. Line down the left field line. That's fair. It'll head into the corner. Around second is Verdon, and he is in safely. It's a double for Justin Novak, and there's 2 on and nobody out.
I was feeling pretty confident going on to the mound for the first pitch, but Jax did make a comment. He said, "Nat, you better not decked me in my head. I got some nice teeth. Can't really ruin them. So then that was even more pressure on me. I was scared I was going to overthrow it. So I think what happened, I just threw it a little bit, not as hard as I would have liked to. And it just did a little skip right before he picked it up. But not bad.
Is there dirt on the ball?
Do you have it? Can we see it?
I actually gave it to my little cousin,
Oh,
but there
what
is
a
a
good
little
cousin.
dirt on the ball.
Hey, you got some Eldridge Park dirt.
See, that's exactly what I was going for, actually. I really wanted him to bring back home to Connecticut a little piece of the Cape.
Here's Andrew Moritz, the leadoff hitter. He takes the ball upstairs. So could Jax have caught it? That's what I'm wondering. Could he have caught it?
He could have made me look better and caught it, yes. But he's not a catcher, so.
Well, okay. All right. Giving him an out. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and popped up. That'll stay on the infield. The wind takes that. Man over toward the third baseline. He makes the catch for the first out of the top of the third.
Now, don't let that lead to any biased reporting against Jax.
Of course not. I would never.
Here's Travis Manoy, third baseman out of Orange County Community College. Struck out swinging in the first. We're going to keep an eye on this rain. And we only have to play 4.5 as long as Orleans have the lead. Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-0. Manoy again coming in, hitting 190. No home runs, no RBIs. Has an RBI opportunity here, however, with runners on second and third. Murray delivers, breaking ball in for a strike. Count is 1-1. The left-handed hitter playing third base today. How did you feel, Tyler, about your first pitch?
Mine was right down the middle. I think Kelly wants me to come in and close today.
Not to toot your own horn or anything, but
Yeah,
right
ask Chris, the bullpen catcher.
There's the pitch.
I'll be
It's
sure
over the
to have
outside
a word
corner.
with him.
It was right down Main Street. Josh Hyatt's job is, he's on the hot seat right now.
Send it back to Chapel Hill. If the rain holds off, we'll have to get the other two members of our media team on. Ask them how it went. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded foul wide of first.
How was yours?
Not bad. Yeah, I didn't bounce it.
You didn't bounce it?
Left it a little high. Had a little zip on it.
Little zip. You probably threw the fastest out of all of us.
I did play baseball for the longest.
Yes, you did.
Count is 1-2 as Murray steps off.
Speaking of first pitches, I was telling Natalie before the game, before we went out and threw our pitch,
Right.
the fastest I've heard of a ball, a first pitch get clocked.
I know what this is, but go ahead.
87 miles per hour.
Colin Kaepernick.
No.
Derek
No.
Rose.
Derek Rose.
Derek Rose?
Derek Rose.
Really?
At the White Sox game right after he got drafted by the Bulls. Yep.
There's that old Chicago spirit coming out.
Yeah.
Me and Tyler.
I think.
What did Kaepernick get clocked at? This is just what I've
I
heard.
think it was in the 80s. I'm pretty
Was
sure.
it in the 80s?
We're gonna have to do some research on that. Really, Derek Rose. Well, good for Derek Rose. We've seen some basketball players have some trouble with first pitches. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss as Joey Murray sets down Travis Manoy. That's his third strikeout. And after Harwich put their first two runners on first and second and third rather, with nobody out, Murray has come back to get the 1 and 2 hitters, Moritz and Manoy, and there's 2 outs. And he'll face Kobe Vance, the DH out of Alabama, with a chance to get out of the inning without allowing a run. At the belt is Murray. Here's the pitch. Swung on in line. That's going to get foul down the right field line and will roll into the crowd. 0-1 the count. Vance coming in with a team high 340 batting average. That's from the right hand side. Tyler, I'm going to ask you to share this because you have an interesting fact about Vance.
Yeah, I'll get to it after the pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Paul makes the play. The throw to first is picked by Lars Newtbar. And that fact will have to wait until the bottom of the third inning because Joey Murray gets out of the frame without any damage. A single and a double by Verdon and Novak gets the Mariners offense rolling, but they strand them at second and third after 2.5, 8-0 Orleans on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, we move to the bottom of the third inning. New pitcher for the Harwich Mariners is Tim Herron out of Indiana. Herron making his fourth appearance of the season. Third out of the bullpen. He's 0-1 with a 4.15 ERA in 8 2/3 innings pitched. And he relieves Brian Christian, who had a start to forget. 2 innings, 6 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned. 4 walks, no strikeouts. As Herron faces Devin Mann, who swings and grounds one to third base, picked on a short hop by Manoy, who throws on to first. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the third, and Orleans will take that given the weather. That brings up Jeff Hodeby. Hodeby, one of 2 Firebirds not to get on base today. He grounded out to the pitcher in the first. The other being Lars Newtbar. Here's the pitch, and that's over the inside corner for a strike to Hodeby. 0-1 the count. Herron ready again. Here's the pitch, and that misses low. Count is 1-1. Hodeby has shown what he can do with the bat, but he's been very impressive defensively so far. We've seen him make a few excellent plays, especially up the middle. Here's the 1-1, swung on and fouled back.
Looking at a bunch of the shortstops in the CCBL, Hodby's got one of the cleanest transfers I've seen. Doesn't have trouble going glove to hand, and then he gets that ball over across. Doesn't have the strongest arm at short, but he definitely compensates for it.
Here's the pitch, swung on and grounded to first base. Blocked and played off the dirt by the first baseman Verdon, who tosses to the pitcher Herron for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs for Tim Herron, and that will bring up Jimmy Herron. His 3rd plate appearance, 2nd at bat. As he walked, stole a couple bases and scored a run in the first and flew out to right in the second. First pitch is inside off the glove of the catcher Debo. Count is 0-1. 1-0, pardon me. Here's the pitch, and it's up and away. Again, Jimmy Herron coming in, hitting at 400. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped it to left center field. That's a base hit for Jimmy Herron. He has now hit safely in all but one game this season for the Firebirds as his batting average jumps back over 400. So he's 1 for 2 with that 2-out single, and that'll bring up Ethan Paul, second baseman out of Vanderbilt. 1 for 2, singled and scored a run back in the second inning. Also popped out to second. He bats with 2 outs against Tim Herron. 1 on. That's Jimmy Herron as the first pitch is over the outside corner for a strike. Orleans getting some help from the other Cape League teams. Here's the pitch. That's swung on and grounded foul wide of first. 0-2 the count. Brewster falling to Hyannis 8-3. Chatham losing to Falmouth 7-1. They're in the top of the 4th. YD did win. They bounced back to beat Bourne 4-3 after Bourne swept the rescheduled doubleheader yesterday. One other score being Wareham crushing Katuitt 11-0. The 0-2 misses down and away. They'll check at second to see if Paul swung, but the second base umpire says no. So Paul stays alive. The count is 1-2. Don't know what's going on with Katuitt. That's a pretty impressive pitching staff, but against Orleans and now against Wareham, they're struggling. Here's the 1-2 to Paul. Swung on and chopped foul right at the feet of the catcher Debo. We'll do it again. Firebirds with a comfortable 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. 5 in the first, 3 in the second, all against the starter Brian Christian, who's out of the game. 1 on, 2 out in the frame. Here's the pitch. Paul takes it outside. 2-2 the count. Herron looking in again. Paul digs in from the left-hand side. Here's the pitch. Check swing foul toward the Orleans on-deck circle. Count stays at 2-2. The sky is darkening. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball down and away, and Tim Herron works around a 2-out single by Jimmy Herron and gets out of the inning unscathed. But Orleans, after 3 innings, still hold an 8-0 lead on the Mariners. This is Orleans Firebirds baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Friendly's Restaurant, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream. Noah, back to you.
Thank you, Matt. We're racing the weather here in Orleans. 8-0 Firebirds as we move to the top of the 4th. Kyler Murray, Cam Simmons, and Max Burt due up for Harwich. As Murray digs in, he struck out and lost his bat in the first inning. First pitch from Murray is high for a ball as the fielders shift to the left. Ethan Paul back on the shortstop side of second base. Here's the 1-0, and that's in for a strike. Well, that is based on what we saw of Murray against the Mariners at White House Field last Saturday. This is the correct field alignment. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, and this bat goes flying again and into the street beyond the third baseline as that one clatters onto Route 28, and that will send a horde of people over the fence and onto the street going after that bat. So a couple times, Kyler Murray has lost his bat. That one goes over everything and out of the stadium. And it's the count is 1-1 as Murray gets a new stick and hopefully some pine tar. Well, Murray is a dead pull hitter with the ball and apparently with the bat as well. Here's the pitch from Joey Murray, and that misses low for a ball. 2-1 as Kyler Murray, lucky that that bat didn't hit a car and landed right in between two coming down that state highway. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed for strike three. So down goes Murray for the first out of the inning. He strikes out for the second time and loses his bat for the second time. And that will bring up Cam Simmons, who is hit by a pitch and erased on a fielder's choice back in the second inning. Digs in from the right-hand side. Murray ready, here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded toward the hole between first and second, and that will find its way into right field. A base hit by Cam Simmons, so he's on base for the second time. One out single. And that'll bring up Max Burt, the shortstop from Northeastern. Top of the fourth here at Eldridge Park. Firebirds have the lead. It is 8-0, 5 in the first, 3 in the second. Steven Scott, already another big day, 2 for 2 with a double, 3 RBIs. Orleans also scoring 2 runs on wild pitches in the second inning. 2-run single by Cesar Salazar back in the first. Here's the pitch, and Burt swings and misses. The count's 0-1. So just about everything going right for the Firebirds, everything going wrong for the Mariners, who are floundering in the cellar of the East Division. Here's the pitch from Murray, swung on and popped up. This is going to stay in play. Nootbaar over, and he will make the catch for the second out of the inning. So a foul out for the second out of the frame. That brings up Brad Debo, the catcher from North Carolina State. Came in hitting 186, grounded into an inning-ending fielder's choice back in the second. Hits here with 2 down, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball drops in for a strike. 0-1 the count. It's another red shirt Friday here in the Cape League. Teams wearing red jerseys and camo hats as a salute to service. Here's the pitch, and that just missed off the outside corner, maybe a little high as well. And it's 1-1 on Debo. If he can get on, Jordan Verdon would hit. He is one of the Mariners' hits tonight. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped it to right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Around second goes Simmons. He's going to get to third easily as the throw comes into the second baseman, Paul. It's a 2-out single by Brad Debo as Harwich pursues their first run. A line drive hooked toward that right field corner, but cut off well before it could get to the fence by the right fielder Decalotti. And that'll bring up Verdon. 1 for 1. He singled in the third, was stranded at third. He got there with nobody out, but Murray recovered to retire 3 in a row to end the inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, and the count is 0-1. Two down, two on. Top of the fourth, 8-0 Firebirds. Count is 0-1 on Jordan Verdon, the first baseman from San Diego State. Here's the pitch. That's inside as it backs Verdon off the plate. Fastball makes it 1-1. Well, just to recap, we've seen 8 runs in the first 2 innings for the Firebirds. We've seen Kyler Murray throw his bat into the street. Here's the pitch. That's in for a strike. We've had Jack Groshans get blamed for not properly receiving a first pitch. It's been a busy night. The count is 1-2. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Salazar will throw down to first to complete the strikeout, which he does. And through 3.5, Joey Murray strands a couple more runners on base, and the Firebirds still hold an 8-0 lead. We'll be back in a moment. This is Orleans Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Firebirds with an 8-0 lead. Brandon Riley, Cesar Salazar, and Nico Decolati due up. So Orleans look to tack on. They face Tim Herron, who comes in for his second inning of relief after Brian Christian had a very rough start for the Mariners, and the first pitch from Herron is over for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1 on Riley. Couple walks, couple runs scored, throwing a stolen base for Brandon Riley as he takes a strike. So 0-2. Hitting .311, that's second on the team behind Jimmy Herron. He's back over 400 after grabbing a single in the third inning. Here's the pitch. That's down and out, down and away. It's 1-2 on Riley. Orleans will see their offensive statistics jump. Now broken the 70-run mark on the season, as there's a swing and a miss by Riley on a fastball up and in. And there is one out here in the fourth. That'll bring up Cesar Salazar. Flew out to right in his last at-bat and grounded a 2-run single through the hole between first and second base back in the first to get the scoring started for the Firebirds, who sent 9 men to the plate in the bottom of the first and sent another 7 in the second. Here's the pitch, and Salazar swings and drives one into deep right center field. That ball is back. Moritz chasing, and it will be caught by Moritz out in right center field, as Salazar gave it a ride into the gap, but it hung up just a little bit, and the catch was made without too much trouble in the end. 2 down, and that will bring up Nico Decalotti. Decalotti at 263. Coming into the game, that will jump after he lined a double to the base of the fence in right field back in the first inning, scored a run, and would score on a wild pitch after walking in the second inning. He bats with 2 outs here in the fourth. Heron delivers, and that's a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. One of 2 Cape League games still going on as Decalotti misses, or watches a pitch missed low. It's 2-0. Chatham and Falmouth also playing. Here's the pitch from Heron. Swing and a miss. Had a breaking ball down in the zone. Good pitch on 2-0, and it's 2-1. Falmouth leading at Veterans Field right now, 7-1. Here's the 2-1, swung on, grounded sharply to second base. The play is made, and throwing on to first is Novak to end the inning. So the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for the Firebirds. Through 4, it's 8-0 Orleans on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Back at Eldridge Park, we move to the top of the 5th, 8-0 Orleans. Noah Johnson joined by Natalie Cardenas. And Natalie, you had a chance to speak with Kelly Nicholson before the game. What did he have to say before Orleans took the field to try to extend their win streak?
I actually brought that up, the win streak. We're now at 5 games, even though we did have an off day yesterday. So I was just curious if he thought whether or not the off day will affect their momentum at all. And of course, it's easy to continue playing well.
The 1-0 is in there for a strike to Novak
while you're playing, but he didn't seem too concerned about it. Harwich also had a day off, but clearly has not affected the Birds up till this point.
He also spoke about Riley Thompson.
He did. Riley is expected to be coming in later tonight, early tomorrow morning, and he did say that they will activate him probably after Kevin Smith makes his last start, since he is on an innings limit. So excited to see Riley come up.
The count is 2-1 on Justin Novak, the second baseman from Virginia. Murray delivers. That misses high. It's 3-1. Of course, Riley Thompson playing for Louisville. We're in the College World Series, so a delayed arrival on the Cape for both Mann and Thompson. Here's the pitch, and that misses high. It's a leadoff walk to Novak.
Yeah, we do have Mann in tonight. Coach said he did put him a little later in the lineup just so that he could see a few pitches before he got out there, but he's very excited that we finally broke the barrier between Louisville. These are the first players we've had on our roster ever from that school, and they always have a great program, so excited what they have to offer.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Andrew Moritz, the right fielder. He takes a strike over the outside corner. So give me a little bit of analysis. What have you seen tonight Well, what have you liked tonight from Orleans?
You know, I always find it surprising to think that we started the season 0 for 4, nothing really working with the bats, and now I just feel like everyone's finally found their groove. We got those patient walks at the beginning to get the first runs in after the back-to-back doubles, so I just really like how the bats are coming along, and I think this team has a lot of chemistry.
The 1-1 is popped on the infield. The pitcher Murray out, but man, the third baseman is over, and it's Mann who puts it away for the first out of the inning. And that will bring up Travis Manoy out of Orange County Community College. 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts is Manoy, as Moritz pops out for the first out of the inning.
You know, it's always good to see those players, like Steven Scott's finally breaking out. We saw Steve pass a tempo 3 for 5 the other day, and these are players that you know have the potential, so it's just awesome to see all their bats come to life lately.
Ball misses high. Manoy came in hitting 190. That is dipped even lower. Tough night at the plate. Here is the 1-0 pitch. And that catches the top of the strike zone. The count is 1-1. Kobe Vance on deck as Orleans look to make this game official, as that swung on and grounded into the Firebirds dugout. The count is 1-2.
Wondering when this rain's going to drop. I was checking the radar. They had a timer on it. We should be coming in the next 20-30 minutes here, so we'll see how much game we can get in.
Orleans only need 2 more outs to make this game official, which we've already seen quite a bit happen. It's been one of the more intriguing games. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing, the ball gets away, and now the home plate umpire is going to say it hit the foot of Manoy. And one of the more interesting things about this game so far, as Justin Novak went all the way to third. He thought that was a wild pitch, but now the home plate umpire is going to make a decision here. And now the umpires are going to get together. It seems like the situation is the umpires don't know if that hit the batter Manoy on the foot or not. And now they're going to get together. So it was a breaking ball down and in. It looked like it clipped the top foot of Travis Manoy. At least he thought it did, as he tossed his bat aside and went down to first. The runner on first base at the time, Novak, went all the way to third. He thought it was just a wild pitch, but he was told to return to second base by the home plate umpire, and now that is the conclusion that they've come to. So it'll be first and second after a hit by pitch. 1 out in the inning. Harwich have had base runners in every inning so far, but they have nothing to show for it as they trail 8-0. As Kobe Vance, the DH from Alabama, stands in. Couple ground outs on the game. Here's the first pitch, and he takes a strike. So second time through seeing Harwich. Any observations about the Mariners?
You know, it's funny because I have gotten the chance to meet a lot of these players. Personally, I see them a lot outside of the field, and they're all just really quality guys.
The 0-1 grounded to short, only plays to first for Hotby. He fires onto Newtbar for the second out of the inning. Now, I don't know if you're a big baseball fashion person, because I am.
No, of course I am. And
Okay.
Harwich definitely has the best uniforms in
Yes,
this league.
okay.
All around. I love the gray. I love how they all have the stirrups. I love the cream unis. Those are great.
The cream home ones are wonderful. Those are my favorite. Okay, let me ask you this then, because as Kyler Murray digs in, he swings and fouls one off into the Orleans dugout. We saw him lose his bat twice in both at bats, and in the last at-bat, it flew onto Route 28 down the third base line. Best uniform you've seen so far other than Harwich?
You know, I don't know. Which is the team that has a burgundy? Is that Katuitt?
Katuitt had, yeah, they wore the burgundy T-shirts. Yes, they do have burgundy jerseys. We didn't see them.
Right.
But I know. Yeah, I think Katuitt.
I like Katuitt. There it is. If I had to pick one other than Harwich, of course.
Katuitt does have a nice look. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kyler Murray. He takes the ball inside. Second and third, 2 down in the inning. Orleans ahead, 8-0. 5 in the first, 3 in the second. Here's the pitch. Big check swing, one of the most emphatic check swings that I've ever seen by Kyler Murray as he went around. Almost looked like he was trying to defend himself after the ball got by him. And the count is 2-2. As Murray digs back in from the right-hand side. Joey Murray at the belt, takes a look at third. Here's the pitch. That's low, 3-2. The count runs full. I have to ask you this also, because Tyler and I have discussed this several times. Outside of Orleans, best park you've been to so far? What's the best environment?
You know, I'm going to have to go with Katuitt again.
Ground ball up the middle. Play is made by the second baseman Paul on to first to end the inning. So Joey Murray once again gets out of trouble as Harwich cannot score, and the game is official through 4.5. Orleans leads 8-0. Tyler Rocky will take you the rest of the way here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Back at Eldridge Park, time for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Tyler Rocky with you here as we have a pinch hitter to start this bottom of the 5th. It's Kevin Stroshine as Orleans holds an 8-0 lead over Harwich. Still dealing on the mound for the Mariners is Tim Herron as the first pitch is grounded straight into the ground foul. Catcher Debo tried to make a play on it, but nothing doing. Orleans had 5 runs in the first and 3 in the second. The next pitch to Stroshine downstairs. 1-1 the count. Interesting to see Stroshine get this at-bat right here. Not that he is undeserving as the 1-1. Fastball low for ball 2, but it's rather that Steven Scott has been one of the hottest bats in this Orleans lineup. Scott 2 for 2 today with a 2 RBI double and a 1 RBI single. The 2-1 to Stroshine, a swing and a miss on a big cut by Kevin, 2-2 the count. And then in the game before that, Scott 3 for 5 with a double. Just showing that these Orleans bats are coming to the plate swinging. The next pitch to Stroshine bounces. That one traveled about 58 feet. Full count on Stroshine, making his first plate appearance today. Had an RBI double in the last game against Katuitt as a part of that big 8th inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Outside, he walked him. So Stroshine gets on. Actually, despite the fact that Orleans has 8 runs today, just the second time in 5 innings that the leadoff man has gotten on, and they've both come with the walk. Just the first walk issued by Heron. And here's Lars Nootbaar. He's 0 for 2. One of just 2 players to not get on base so far today. Lars will try to change that right here. First pitch to Nootbaar, fouled back off the catcher. 0-1 on Nootbaar. Stroshine, the runner on first. He just walked. Heron, the lefty, against the lefty Nootbaar. I'd expect to see a fair amount of Heron today as the next pitch in. Line drive out to left field. Coming in, though, is Murray, and he's got just enough hang time on the ball for out number 1. But getting back to all the lefties in the Orleans lineup, that might be a reason why Stroshine came in to pinch hit for Scott. 8-run lead, but no lead is safe here in the Cape. We've seen YD come back from down 8. Chatham, the same. Brings up Devin Mann. First pitch to Mann. Fastball in there for a strike right down the middle. A great first at-bat for Mann. He singled and knocked in a run back in the first inning as a part of that 5-run frame. Heron set the lefty to the righty. Outside for ball 1. 1-1 on Mann. Grounded out to start the 3rd inning. Man, just getting here from Louisville, who made a deep run in the College World Series. There's Heron's 1-1. Line drive out to right, and that gets down for a base hit. Holding at second is Stroshine. It's a 1-out single for Mann. That puts runners on first and second. A 2 for 3 day in his Firebirds debut. Here's Jeff Hotby. Hotby 0 for 2 today. Nothing too hard hit. He's got a 1-3 put out and a 3-1 put out. Almost beat that one out to first. Stroshine on second, Mann on first. Hotby the lefty against the lefty Heron. Heron, the lefty from Indiana, fires. First pitch a little low for ball 1. The interesting thing about Hotby, his average isn't the greatest. He came in today at a 212 clip. However, he's second on the team with 7 RBIs, seems to always get a timely hit. Now would be a good time for one. The 1-0 to Hotby. Upstairs for ball 2, and Jeff quickly ahead. 8-0 Firebirds lead. 8 runs on 8 hits. We're seeing a lot more efficient scoring outputs. They 8 runs on 8 hits today. They had 13 runs on 15 hits the other day against Katuitt. The 2-0. Hit out in the air to center, camping right under it and taking a couple steps to his left is Simmons, and he's under it for the catch. Runners unable to tag and advance. And that's out number 2. And we go back to the top of the order. Here's Jimmy Heron. So it's Heron with 2 away. He's 1 for 2 today. Walked and scored. Also stole 2 bases back in the first. And he singled back in the third. And a fly out in the second. Actually, the 4th inning is the only frame where Heron has not come to the plate today. Runners on first and second. Heron looks in the pitch. Up and away for ball 1. Coming into today, Heron was actually just one of 2 players at 400 batting average or better. The other being Alec Boehm of Falmouth. Heron's ready. His pitch. Line drive right field. That gets down for a base hit. Holding at third. And now coming around to try to score is Stroshine. He gets in easily. The throw down to third is not in time. Going first to third. and making this one a 9-0 game as Jimmy Herron an RBI single. He's 2 for 3, and it's 9-0. Firebirds on top. Interesting call there by the third base coach, Mark Halberg. He ended up sending Stroshine after initially holding up the stay, and then he wanted to test the arm of the right fielder Moritz, who made a pretty good throw, but Stroshine got in standing up. And now it's 9-0, runners at the corners. First pitch comes in as Romy Gonzalez will pinch hit for Ethan Paul. So that ends Ethan Paul's day, 1 for 3 with a single and a run. Gonzalez presumably will come in and play second. Here's the next pitch. Low as it gets away from the catcher Debo, but not too far for any runners to advance. 1-1 the count with 2 away. 9-0 Firebirds lead. Right now Orleans might be battling the elements. There is rain expected in the forecast at about 9 o'clock, so that's about 15 minutes away. We've played a sufficient game, though, as Gonzalez fouls one away first base side. You'd hate to see a 9-run day put away, but that won't be the case. Anything after this is official. Gonzalez, the righty from Miami. Middle infield shaded up the middle. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, that's ball 2. 2-2 the count to Romy. Herron the runner on first. Mann the runner on third. Herron's ready. He comes to his set and delivers. Outside for ball 3. That'll get Herron the runner on first moving on the pitch. Full count, 2 outs, 9-0 Firebirds. Bottom of the 5th inning. Orleans already with 1 run in this inning. 9 runs on 9 hits. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3, and that's out number 3. Go to the 6th. Firebirds tack on 1, leave 2. 9-0 Birds. You're listening to Orleans Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at historic Eldridge Park, where the Firebirds lead 9-0 over the Harwich Mariners. Orleans getting another run in that bottom of the 5th. We're on to the 6th now. We've got a new pitcher on the mound. It's Jake Wong, the righty from Grand Canyon University. A couple of other defensive substitutions for Orleans, going to second base after pinch hitting for Ethan Paul is Romy Gonzalez, and coming in behind the plate is Jax Groshans, getting his first appearance at catcher. So we'll see how Jax fares behind the dish. Again, he's one of those temp players, certainly has a great chance of making this roster, as we're bringing in Matt Doherty, our beat writer. And tomorrow is a big day for some of these temporary guys. It's where decisions are made. What have you seen out of some of the temporary guys that you really like?
Well, first off, you just mentioned him. Jax Groshans has been, you know, a big part of this lineup, and he's a guy who can play multiple positions as well.
First pitch is fouled down the first base line from Cam Simmons.
We've seen him play third. We've seen him DH. We've seen him now catch. So, I mean, a guy like him that can play multiple positions, and the way he's been hitting, he should, you know, get that temporary position removed for him and become a part of this full roster.
The 0-1 misses inside, 1-1 on Simmons. And it's interesting because his Kansas teammate Jackson Goddard went home with an injury. You wonder now, maybe a Kansas guy helping out another Kansas guy. As here's the 1-1 from Wong. Inside again, 2-1 the count.
Right, and I think other than that, I think the roster you're seeing tonight is pretty much the roster that will be here for the rest of the year. Riley Thompson is the last player that has not joined the team yet.
Here's the 2-1. Broken bat, shallow into the pitcher's glove and over to first. Flipping was Wong. An easy 1-3 put out. And that'll bring up Max Burt. And you mentioned Riley Thompson, and that's obviously a big part to what Orleans wants to do pitching-wise. You want as many arms in a league like the Cape League with summer guys who can go home. Injuries can happen, so you want a lot of fresh arms. Riley Thompson certainly a guy who can provide that for you. He'll be in as soon as Kevin Smith reaches his innings limit of 20 as the first pitch to Burt. A breaking ball in there for a strike from Wong. And we saw Kelly Nicholson kind of pull Kevin Smith short. Maybe he's trying to stretch him out for 2 more starts as the 0-1 from Wong is lifted out into shallow right. Going out is the second baseman Gonzalez as he makes a nice catch. As he also avoids a sliding Nico Decolati. So great concentration by Gonzalez, not just to make the catch, but to also be aware of his teammate. And that is 2 away.
And I think that starting rotation as well is set tie for now. It'll change when Kevin Smith leaves, but for now it's Kevin Smith. You saw Joey Murray tonight with another outstanding start. Chandler Day, Ryan Rollison, Logan Gilbert, and who's our last starter?
The first pitch to the next batter, Brad Debo. We've seen Graham Stinson make some starts.
Stinson
a lot
will
of
be in the rotation
players.
When Smith is done. And, oh my God, why am I not thinking of?
The next pitch is grounded foul.
Daniel Lynch. So
Daniel
that's
Lynch,
their rotation for the time being. And exciting thing tomorrow, Ty, we get to see Chandler Day make his first start of the summer for the Firebirds. He's actually probably the best prospect in the Cape Cod League this summer in terms of 2018 MLB draft.
Next pitch is fouled straight into the screen, 0-2. So a great pitching staff gets even better now with Chandler Day.
Which is crazy.
He's come out of the pen once and was brilliant. It was actually against these Harwich Mariners.
He's only thrown inning and 2/3 all summer, and this team is about to be 10-6.
0-2 in the dirt for ball 1. 2 away, none on. 9-0 Orleans over Harwich at the moment. The righty Wong on against the lefty Debo. Debo 1 for 2 today. A single and a fielder's choice. The next pitch a bit high for ball 2.
And another guy, another temp player that we've been raving about, JT Hinson, all summer long, who leads the team in appearances. He looks to be locked in as a player that will get a full-time contract in the next couple of days.
The 2-2 fouled away over towards the Mariners' third base dugout. Count remains 2-2, and Hinson, amongst the temp guys, especially the pitchers, and even the non-temp guys, has been one of those really standout players out of the pen for a unit that's been just so strong this year for Orleans. Wong winds, here's his 2-2. Just inside on a fastball, count is full.
And Bryce Tucker, another player in that bullpen, just made the USA Collegiate National Team, so that actually opens a spot up for someone like Hinson. Tucker will be gone for, a couple of weeks now.
Payoff pitch. Soft liner, one hops the second baseman Gonzalez. He's up with it over to first, and that is out number 3. Well, Matt, great chatting with you. Always good to get some insight on the team, and be sure to check out all of his stories on the Orleans Firebirds website as well as on our Twitter at Orleans Firebirds CCBL. Matt, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll be back with the bottom half of the 6th inning. 9-0 Firebirds. You're listening to Orleans Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, 9-0 the Firebirds lead over the Mariners. This is the second meeting between these two teams, second of 6. Orleans currently holds the lead in the season series 1-0 after a comeback win. A 5-run 8th inning just about a week ago gave Orleans a 7-4 win. The guy who sparked that rally, Brandon Riley, had a bases loaded triple in that 8th inning. He steps to the plate against the lefty Heron on for his 4th inning of work. First pitch to Riley is skied foul out of play behind the backstop. 0-1 on Brandon. Riley 0 for 1 today, a couple of walks, also struck out and has scored 2 runs. Had his 8-game hitting streak snapped in the offensive onslaught against Catuit. 15 hits for Orleans, but none to Brandon. Next pitch in the dirt for ball 1, 1-1 the count. In fact, he was the only player in that Catuit game to not get on base with a hit. However, he did have 3 walks. Next pitch to Riley is fouled back. 1-2. Heron, the lefty from Indiana University, started 8 games for the Hoosiers, had a 3.78 ERA and just over 52 innings. The next pitch to Riley, in the dirt, blocked by Debo. 2-2. Lefty to lefty matchup. Infield straightaway, outfield straightaway, lights in full effect. These two teams playing up against the rain. The next pitch, low and away for ball 3, and Riley runs it full. Seen a couple of good at-bats for Riley, and particularly in that first inning, not just from Brandon, but from a number of the top half of the lineup for Orleans, working 7, 8, 9 pitch at-bats. Here's the 3-2 to Riley, hit in the air out to center. Coming in is Simmons as he camps right under it and almost in and out of his mitt, but he's got it, and that's out number 1. That ball being taken by the wind that is blowing in. Simmons initially went back on it, but ended up almost near the infield. Had to make that catch a little bit on the run. Here's Jax Groshans making his first at-bat. Came in behind the plate for Cesar Salazar, whose day is finished. 1 for 3 day for Cesar, including a single that brought in 2 back in the first inning. Here's Groshans' first pitch. Inside for ball 1. Grosjean's top 10 in the league in home runs. He's belted 2 this season. Did not play against Katuitt. There's the 1-0 to Jax. Just outside for ball 2. In his last timeout that came against YD, he was 1 for 4, singled and scored. Also had a couple of strikeouts. 2-0. Outside, that's ball 3 on Grosjean's. Jax gets hits and a quarter of his at bats with the Firebirds, 250. Here's his 3-0 pitch. Courtesy strike down the middle, 3-1 the count. 1 away, 9-0 Orleans leads in the bottom of the 6th inning. Grosjean's the righty against the lefty Heron. Wind continues to howl straight in. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball left side. There to glove it is the shortstop Burt. He throws across the diamond in time, and that is out number 2. So with 2 away, here's Nico Decolati. Nico had a big RBI double back in the first. He's also walked, and he grounded out to second. He hits the ball hard. Ever since he's joined the Firebirds, he's had one of the more electric bats. Granted, not all of it has ended in hits. First pitch to Decolati in the dirt for ball 1. Hitting .263 through 5 games. Got his second double of the season. Also had a single off the wall here at Eldridge not too long ago as he skies one foul down the first base side. Ooh, off a car. 1-1 on Decolati. 2 outs. 9-0 Orleans leads. Heron the lefty against the righty Decolati. Here's the pitch. Line drive right side. That gets down for a base hit and into right field as Decolati takes a turn around first. And it's a 2-out knock for Nico. Now Kevin Stroshine tasked with keeping the inning alive. Good opposite field with strikes. He just took that outside pitch the other way, just past the outreach glove of the first baseman Verdon. So here's Stroshine. He walked and scored back in the 5th. Came into pinch hit for Steven Scott and has been moved out to left field. First pitch to Stro, down low for ball 1. Second baseman Novak shaded a bit up the middle. We've seen some teams put shifts on Kevin. Next pitch. That one lifted out to right field, tailing away, and getting past the right fielder Moritz. Going for second is Stroshine, and holding at third. And now coming in to score, and it won't matter as the throw goes into second, and they get Stroshine by half a step. So Kevin Stroshine getting a little ambitious on the base paths. He ends this bottom of the 6th inning. Orleans goes down without a run. They do get 2 hits and leave 1. We've played 6, 9-0 Firebirds. You're listening to Orleans Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. start the 7th inning here at Eldridge Park. 9-0 the Firebirds lead. We've got a new pitcher on for Orleans, JT Hinson, as he is coming on to make his team-leading 7th appearance out of Florida Southern. He's been one of the best. You heard me talking with Matt Doherty earlier in the game as the first pitch comes into Jordan Verdon as he swings and misses. Hinson not with overpowering stuff. Sits about mid-80s on his fastball. But he can locate it wherever he wants, and that's what's keeping him on this Orleans roster. Next pitch, up and away. Breaking ball, 1-1. We're seeing a lot of the temp guys get in. We've got another substitution over at first base. In comes Steve Passatempo. Kind of a tryout day for everyone. The next pitch, a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on Verdon. And Hinson, one of those guys who certainly earned his spot on this team. I'd expect to see him around moving forward. Hinson's 1-2. He stretches and pitches. In there for strike 3. You got him looking. That's the first strikeout for Hinson as he sets Verdon down on a fastball that was at about the belt. And that's out number 1. That brings up Justin Novak. He's 1 for 1 today with a double. He also reached on a walk back in the 5th. Harwich has scratched across just 5 hits. First pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. That counters the Orleans 11. So that gives the Firebirds 26 hits in the last 2 games, and we're only through 1 + 7 innings. This one, a ground ball over to the left side. Up with it is Mann. He fires across the diamond to Passatempo. That's in time. And that's quick. 2 outs for JT Hinson. Mann getting his first play over there at the hot corner, showing the glove. And we go to the top of the order. Here's Andrew Moritz, the right fielder from UNC Greensboro. He singled to lead off the game, but since then, a couple of infield pop-outs. 1 to the left side and 1 to the right. Here's the lefty against the righty, Hinson. First pitch, just a bit outside. 1-0. Grosjean's giving the signs to his pitcher, Hinson. Comes to the set and the pitch. Line drive right side, and that gets just past a sliding second baseman, Romy Gonzalez, and that's the second hit of the night for Moritz as that ball was taken up by the grass, also had a bit of side spin to it. And that'll put Moritz aboard with a 2-out single. Here's Travis Monyo. 0 for 2 today, was also hit by a pitch. Both of his outs coming via the K, and the hit by pitch, well, that is the 7th between these two teams in their 2 games. 6 in the first game, and then 1 today. First pitch, outside for ball 1. No bad blood, it seems like, but you hit some guys with some balls that can change some things. 2 away, top of the 7th inning, 9-0 Firebirds. Moritz the runner on first. Monyo the batter. Third baseman hits from the left-handed side against the righty Hinson. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-0. Hinson has just allowed 1 run this entire season. That's in now 9.1 innings of work. Quite impressive for a D2 guy. 2-0 pitch. Hit out into center field. Charging back on it is Heron, and he's got enough space for it, and that's out number 3. Mariners go down scoreless, leave 1. It's 9-0 Firebirds. We go to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. bottom of the 7th inning at Eldridge Park. Coming out for his 5th inning of work is Tim Herron, making up for the lackluster start from Brian Christian. He lasted just 2 and gave up the bulk of the runs, 8 to be exact. But Herron, through 4, has allowed just 1.
This is the kind of relief appearance that you want after your starter struggles as much as Christian did. Just someone who can eat up innings when the game's already out of hand. Save the rest of your bullpen.
So here's Steve Passatempo making his first at-bat. First pitch to him is up and away. Passatempo got out of his funk against Catuit. Hit a long home run against the Kettleers. Next pitch, fouled away, out of play. Passatempo was 3 for 5 in that game, including the 3-run homer. So good for Steve. He came into that game with 2 hits and he left with 5. 1-1 the count on Pass. Next pitch, grounded foul, third base side. 1-2 on Passatempo. The junior to be from UMass Lowell. Lefty Herron, righty Passatempo. Here's the 1-2. Outside, that evens the count at 2 apiece. So Nootbaar's day is done at first. He went 0 for 3. One of 2 Firebirds to not get on as the next pitch, a breaking ball just outside. Count runs full. Passatempo, we've seen him be very patient at the plate, much like the other first baseman, Nootbaar. Next pitch, a swing and a miss, tip into the mitt of the catcher, Debo, and that is out number 1. It's the 4th strikeout for Herron in this one out of relief. Here's Devin Mann. He's got a pair of singles. One of them scored a run. He tried to score before Stroshine was tagged out at second, but did not get in time. Came up about 3 steps short of the plate.
How about the
first pitch to Mann? Inside corner for a strike.
How about the night that Devin Mann has had in his Orleans debut? Couple hits, made a nice defensive play early on.
The 0-1 to Mann. Grounded down to the third baseman, Monyo. He's up with it. His throw over to first is in time as Verdon had to come a little tall, but kept his foot on the bag.
That's why you have a tall first baseman. Monyo yanked that a little bit, left it high, but play was made by Verdon without too much trouble for the Harwich first baseman.
Verdon needed every bit of that 6'3" frame. Here's Jeff Hotby trying to avoid being the first 1-2-3 inning for the Birds as he skies one foul out of play down the left field line. 0-1 on Jeff. He's 0 for 3 today. The shortstop from the University of San Diego. Next pitch to Hotby, a swing and a miss as he almost checked it there, but ended up coming through. A weak swing from Hotby, and he's quickly down 0-2. .301 hitter at USD. This one a swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Debo blocks it, throws down to Verdon at first, and it's in time. The 5th strikeout for Herron, and we go to the 8th. Orleans on top 9-0. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 8th inning here from Eldridge Park, Orleans, with a 9-0 lead over Harwich. New man on the mound for the Firebirds. It's Brooks Wilson, the righty, out of Stetson University. He'll face 3, 4, 5, Kobe Vance, Kyler Murray, and Cam Simmons. So Wilson with long brown hair flowing out of the back of his camo hat here on Redshirt Friday. First pitch to Vance. Fastball in there for a strike. Vance 0 for 3 today. All 3 outs have come as ground outs, 2 to second and 1 too short. Next pitch, a swing and a miss. 0-2, he quickly falls behind.
What do you think of the Redshirt Friday look? What do you think of the look? You like
I like it. It's not very different from the typical Orleans look as the 0-2. A check swing, ball goes behind Groshans in the dirt. No check down to first, though. 1-2 on Vance. It looks very similar to the classic Orleans look. It's the red jerseys with the white script across. However, Orleans does usually rock the vests at home. The red with the white is a road jersey. Next pitch, up and in on Vance. 2-2. I do like the camo hats. A nice salute to the troops. Just something different. Mixes things up. The 2-2 pitch to Vance. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt as Groshans actually got that one cleanly. He showed it to the home plate umpire, Tom Ryberry. So that's the first strikeout for Wilson, and that brings up Kyler Murray, who today has thrown his bats further than he's hit his balls. Already 2 thrown bats for Murray. 1 went over the third base dugout, and 1 went across Route 28. First pitch to Murray. Breaking ball drops in for a strike.
And of course, we say thrown bad, but he didn't. Not in frustration or anything. It just slipped out of his hands. Not enough pine tar. I don't think I've ever seen a bat thrown.
The 0-1 up and in on Murray.
I don't think I've ever seen a bat thrown as far as what Murray did in his second at bat. He threw it over the protective screen, down the third base line, over the small hill where people sit and onto the street.
1-1. Fastball outside corner for a strike, and you saw right after he threw the bat across the street, there were a flock of kids that hopped the fence to grab a Kyler Murray bat. Who knows? He could be in the NFL one day, as he is the backup quarterback at Oklahoma. He started some games at A&M. As next pitch, check swing. Yes, he did, according to the home plate umpire Tom Ryberry, and that's strikeout number 2 and out number 2 for Wilson, who's dealing in his 3rd outing of the season. Brings up Cam Simmons. He's 1 for 2 today with a hit by pitch, also a single. You wonder if some former football players who also played baseball, the first pitch to Simmons. Slider that's just low. Can't think of any off the top of my head that played in the Cape League, but hey, if there's a Russell Wilson bat out there somewhere, next pitch, a sidearm delivery, that misses low and away, 2-0. Or even another Texas A&M quarterback, Johnny Manziel, who had his hand with the Padres. 2-0, bounces in the dirt, 3-0 on Simmons. Your favorite quarterback got his run with the Montreal Expos back in the day, Tom Brady.
That's right. It still baffles me. Can you imagine Tom Brady in a Montreal Expos jersey?
It reminds me of the old throwback Pats uniforms. The next pitch, courtesy strike down the middle, 3-1.
That's a good comparison. Those are some nice. Those Pats jerseys, the red, the old school red jerseys, the Pat Patriot red jerseys.
Here's the 3-1. Outside corner for a strike as Simmons tossed his bat to the side. Count is full. Bases are empty, 2 away, top of the 8th inning. 9-0 the Orleans lead. That's not going to make an umpire happy when you try to show him up. Here's the payoff pitch from Wilson. Outside, just a bit off the corner, and that is ball 4. So Simmons aboard with a 2-out walk. That brings up Max Burt. Burt is 0 for 3 today. Couple of foul outs. Also hit into a fielder's choice. Wilson works from the set and the pitch in their first strike down the middle. Pass the tempo, the first baseman not holding on Simmons with a 9-run lead. Infield at normal depth, outfield straight away. Wind continues to blow in at Eldridge. Next pitch in the dirt. That's ball 1, 1-1 the count.
Got to give a lot of credit to these Orleans relievers today. They've been very solid in a low-pressure situation where sometimes it's easy to miss your spots, give up a few runs here and there. They've kept Harwich completely at bay.
Next pitch, ground ball left side, going over as a shortstop, Hotby. He fires across to first and beats a headfirst slide from Burt, and that's out number 3. Harwich leaves 1, scores none. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 9-0 Firebirds. You're listening to Orleans Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Finally a new arm on the mound for Harwich. It's John Wachowski, the righty from Boston College. That ends Tim Herron's day. 5 innings, just 1 run allowed as first pitch to Jimmy Herron. Too tall on him. 1-0 the count on Jimmy. Here's the next pitch as Wachowski working quickly. He fires that in for a strike. Another quick delivery. The pitch, ground ball left side, gloved by the shortstop Burt, and it's in and out of the mitt of Verdon. And safe at first is Jimmy Herron. That'll be an error on Verdon. And here comes Romy Gonzalez with the leadoff man on.
Verdon didn't get a lot of help from the throw. It was low in the dirt. Just kind of skipped out of his glove. But still a play that you think at this level should be made by the first baseman.
Gonzalez struck out in his first at-bat. He pinch hit. First pitch to him is fouled away on the right side. Gonzalez came in the 5th inning to pinch hit for Ethan Paul, then went out to play second. This is his first at-bat since. Herron on first, the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, fielded by the second baseman Novak. The flip to second, over to first in time. A 4-6-3 double play. As that erases Herron on the base path, so what was once 1 on and no out is now none on and 2 out, and here comes Brandon Riley. Riley today 0 for 2, but has scored twice on a couple of walks. The first pitch from Witkowski. Fastball about belt high in there for a strike. Riley has walked a lot these last couple games, 5 in the last 2. Next pitch, outside. 1-1 the count on Brandon.
See if he gives Lars Nootbaar a run for his money as the season goes on.
Got some ground to make up. Next pitch down low. Although if he walks right here, he would actually tie Nootbaar at 14, which would put him in the CCBL lead with Nootbaar. 2-1 on Riley, 2 outs, 9-0. Orleans leads over Harwich. The first place Firebirds against the last place Mariners. The pitch. Outside, that's ball 3.
Looked like the home plate umpire flinched just a little bit.
I was waiting for him to call that a strike. Looked like the same location as the first pitch. 3-1 from Witkowski. A tip into the mitt of Debo. Count runs full on Riley. He adjusts his white batting gloves. Digs back into the lefty box against the righty Witkowski. Working quickly, the pitch. Outside corner, strike 3. Riley knew it. And that is out number 3. Orleans goes down in order. We go to the 9th. Firebirds on top, 9-0. You're listening to Orleans Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Final inning here at Eldridge Park. Top of the frame as Harwich coming to the plate, down 9. Orleans has been all over the Mariners, and it came in the first couple of innings. 5 in the first, 3 in the second, and then a 9th insurance run coming in the 5th. And Brooks Wilson out there for another inning of work as the first pitch to the next batter, Brad Debo, is low and in on the catcher from NC State. Righty to lefty matchup. The 1-0. Inside corner for a strike. Wilson is the first Orleans reliever today to go out for a second inning of work. So Kelly Nicholson trying to see all the arms out of the pen as the next pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 2, 1-2 the count. And it must be nice for Kelly to get to kind of have today as a tryout with such a big lead. You got to make some tough decisions tomorrow. The 1-2. Lined out into left field. That gets down for a base hit. And Brad Debo, with his second knock of the game, he's aboard with a leadoff single. That brings up Jordan Verdon. 1 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts. Verdon, the first baseman from San Diego State. First pitch to him. Right down the middle for a strike. Of course, San Diego State, the program that produced Steven Strasburg, one of the most heralded players out of college that I can remember in my lifetime.
I'd agree with that.
It's the 0-1. Just outside on a breaking ball, 1-1. I remember watching videos of Strasburg, of all his no-hitters and perfect games in college and high school. I mean, he was untouchable. Hitting 3 figures on the gun. 1-1 to Verdon. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Very rarely do major league or do baseball players at the college level become that big nationally before they get drafted. He was one of them. Obviously, Bryce Harper being another.
The 1-2. Hit in the air on the left side. Going over is the third baseman, Mann, as he has... As our vantage point was blocked out. Looks like that ball got away. 1-2 the count. We get cut off on anything that extends about 15 feet off the line down left, and we have to battle with the dugout, which makes a much better door than a window. 1-2 on Verdon. Outside, 2-2 the count. None away. Debo the runner on first. 9-0 the Orleans lead. Top of the 9th inning. The righty Debo against the lefty Verdon. The pitch hit out in the air, shallow right. Going out is Gonzalez. Coming in is the center fielder Heron. He's got enough space, and that's out number 1. Now we go to the 9-hitter, Justin Novak. 1 for 2 with a double and a ground out, also walked. Orleans trying to pick up and extend their shutout lead in the CCBL to 4. That was wiped away against Catuit in the 9th off a 2-run homer. Trying to get some revenge and prevent that fate right here from the bullpen as the first pitch to Novak is fouled into the screen, 0-1. Moritz on deck. Passatempo not holding the runner. Debo at first. There's the pitch from Wilson in the dirt, blocked by Groshans, who tosses his mask and keeps him at bay over at first base. Wouldn't expect any stolen bases at this point in the ball game. A 9-run lead in the 9th inning for Orleans. They've held Harwich scoreless so far for 8 1/3. Wilson set. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back off the end of the bat of Novak. 1-1 the count. Novak, the second baseman from Virginia, wears the same number as his position on the ball field, number 4. See a lot of second basemen wear that number in the CCBL. 1-2. Ground ball left side, coming in and charging is Mann. Quick throw over to first, and it's in and out of the mitt of Passatempo at first. It was a nice transfer for Mann. Very quick with the hands, but too hot for Passatempo to handle over at first. Likely going to go down as an error on Mann.
That's a tough play for Mann. Slowly hit ground ball right up that third base line. He has to hurry to make a throw. It wasn't too bad of a throw, just a little low. Unable to dig it out.
The official scorer is actually going to gift Novak with a hit there. I could see that ball going either way. It was slowly hit enough. Puts runners on first and second. Back to the top of the order with Andrew Moritz. 1 away. Top of the 9th inning. Orleans with a 9-0 lead. The pitch is fouled straight back on the ground. 0-1 on Moritz. Still a very impressive showcasing of the glove there by Mann, who's made a couple of nice plays today.
His transfer speed and just the look of it is fantastic.
The 0-1. Ground ball right side that goes just wide of the first base bag. 0-2 on Moritz.
I think fluid Fluid is the word I'm looking for. He's very fluid. We saw him play second base at Louisville a lot, but playing third today. A lot of competition when you come to the Cape. A lot of players on each team that play each other's position.
Gonzalez, we've seen him at third. Kind of surprised that they didn't flip. Although maybe Kelly Nicholson wants to see what Gonzalez can do up the middle. He's been at third base and short for the bulk of this season. Here's the pitch, blocked by Groshans in the dirt. 1-2. Infield at normal depth, with runners on first and second. Heron, the center fielder, shaded a bit towards left field. The pitch, line drive over to the right side. That gets down for a base hit. Coming up with it is Decalotti. Holding at third, though, is Debo. And that loads the bags. And here's the two-hitter, Travis Monyo. So after a relatively quick eighth inning, Brooks Wilson running into some trouble here in the top of the ninth. Already 3 base hits. Let's see how he works out of this jam. Monyo 0 for 3 today, but was hit by a pitch. Has struck out twice. The lefty from Orange County Community College. Runners get their leads. Nothing too big at either bag, especially given the bases loaded situation. Crowd has thinned out, although it was a great turnout for the majority of today's game here at Eldridge Park. Haven't gotten an official figure yet. The pitch in there for a strike on the outer half of the plate, 0-1.
Good start for Wilson. He's thrown strikes, just Harwich finally getting the bats around here in the 9th inning, just to prolong this game a little bit.
Monyo, the lefty against the righty Wilson. There's the 0-1. That one's too far outside. 1-1. One away, top of the 9th inning, 9-0, Orleans over Harwich. Firebirds need this win if they want to stay in first place in the East Division. And they would actually move into first place in the entire league with a win, as that one gets Monyo right on the right hip. And that will walk in a run on the hit by pitch. So that's the first run allowed by Orleans today. Pushes this one to a 9-1 game.
Just a note, something I just thought of. Interesting little fact. We're going to Hyannis tomorrow. It'll be the first time we see the Harbor Hawks. It will be the 5th and final West Division park that we've been to.
You can check them all off. Here's Kobe Vance. This one a ground ball chopper to the shortstop. Hopi over to second for 1, on to first for 2. An inning-ending double play as Jeff Hopi flashes the leather and gives Orleans a 9-1 victory over Harwich. The Firebirds, the first team in the CCBL to 10 wins as well as 20 points, and they sit as kings in the Cape Cod Baseball League. The final score, 9-1, the win over Harwich. Orleans, as I mentioned, moves to 10-6. Meanwhile, Harwich falls to 5-10-1. And with the win, Orleans keeps its 1-point edge over YD for the top spot in the East Division. Harwich now falls 9 points back of first place. We'll be back with the totals after this. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, again the final, 9-1. Orleans gets a big win over Harwich as they become the first team to 10 wins in the CCBL. A bit shocking from a team that was the first to 4 losses, started out the season 0-4, and now sitting at 10-6 on the campaign, extends the winning streak to 6 games, and that's now wins in 10 of the last 12 for the Firebirds. Looking at the box score real quick, Orleans 9 runs on 11 hits, no errors, and left just 6. Meanwhile, Harwich 1 run on 9 hits, 1 error, and left 11. The winning pitcher for Orleans is Joey Murray. He picks up his 2nd win of the season. He went 5 strong, allowing just 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk to go along with 5 strikeouts. And then on the losing side, Brian Christian, 2 innings, 6 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned, to go along with 4 walks and no strikeouts. A rough day for the righty out of Northeastern. So we'll be joined in just a second by Devin Mann, who made his debut with the Firebirds, as Orleans advances to 10-6. As Devin, he came in from Louisville, and he's joining us now here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. And Devin Mann, a 2-for-4 day in the debut. So, Devin, first question I have for you is, you come here to Orleans, you pick up a win out of the gate. You're joining a winning culture as of late. How does it feel to finally get to the Cape?
It feels great. Did that little time in Omaha, and then finally I was itching to get out here and ready to go. And it's great to get out here with these guys. You got a great team. Everyone's playing well, and it's great to be out here.
Now, you're coming from Omaha in the College World Series to Eldridge Park, 2 very different atmospheres, but very good atmospheres, in my opinion. You've obviously seen both in these last couple of weeks. What makes Eldridge Park so unique in your first game here?
It's just cool. You look up the hill, and it's packed, and the atmosphere is good. And it's cool to see, people take summer baseball so seriously, and it's great to see that they love their Firebirds and they support them, and that's great to see. And it's it's fun to have that atmosphere here with you.
And a 2-for-4 day for you today. A lot of guys sometimes struggle out of the gate. What was working for you today at the plate?
I've just been sticking with my approach that I've had all year. Nothing really changes. It's just a new team. Try and stay aggressive. Hit the pitches that they're going to give me and put good swings on them, and let whatever happen is going to happen. So good things happen. So I just hope to keep it rolling.
And you're coming into a winning culture right now. This team has been super hot before you got here, and you're just helping that. You're almost like adding fuel to the fire right now. What does it mean to be a part of this Orleans organization?
Yeah, they've been on fire even before I got here, and it's cool to join a team like that that's on fire. It's awesome, and I'm just wanted to help a little bit. They've you got great kids all around you, so you just want to make the team a little bit better and help the team win that day as much as you can.
All right, Devin, thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the win, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here from Eldridge Park. Again, the final 9-1, the Firebirds over the Mariners. Will be back tomorrow when Orleans takes on Hyannis. That game with a 6 o'clock start. Will be on the air at 5:50 for pregame. For my broadcast partner, Noah Johnson, I'm Tyler Rocky. Again, the final from Eldridge, 9-1, the Firebirds win. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great night.